leave me dead. You treat me so healthy. Unlike ratchet, cladded drug heads. Hey, Rue, you're my reason. Can I Chinese star the shingles? Hey, Rue, you're my reason. Can I Chinese star the shingles? Hey, Rue, you're my reason.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Open Mic Podcast with me, your host, Tom Hirst, brought to you by Richland Source and Newsroom After Hours. Today we have a very special guest. His name, you know him, you love him. It's Aurelio, a.k.a. Chico's brother, a.k.a. Mr. La Luna, a.k.a. Councilman of the 5th Ward.
That's a lot of ands.
You wear many hats, sir.
Wow.
Many hats.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is exciting. I really enjoyed the first episode that you did.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, this is cool to have this.
Yeah, man, it's been a trip getting to getting down this whole system, figuring out what podcasting looks like,
Yeah.
how to talk to people in this kind of it's like formal because you know people are going to be listening to it and it's recording, but also trying to be genuine and I don't know, it's weird, but it's been fun so far.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if for those who don't know you somehow, if they're from Mansfield listening to this, introduce yourself, please.
Well, my name's Aurelio Diaz. When as a musician, I create the moniker is Chico's Brother. I actually had a brother named Chico, so when people if they know him, they don't realize it's a band name. And then I'm new on the city council. Actually, next week will be my 4th month.
Oh wow!
And I feel like it's been a year because it's a lot. So those things keep me busy. And I was having shows at La Luna, which is a building I bought 5 years ago, and would routinely host art shows and live concerts.
Yeah.
So and that came to an end as of December.
Okay.
It was bittersweet, but it was more sweet because I have more time to do things that I want to do.
Yeah, be a councilman.
Not host things all the time.
Yeah,
I can go to an event rather than host it.
Yeah, which it's surprising how much effort and work it takes to host an event like the ones you were having.
It was fun. It was fun.
5 years. I did not realize it's been that long. Wow.
Yeah, I bought the building in I think late 2016.
Wow.
And was having shows in 2017. The first 2 years, it was like all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, every weekend we had shows. Relax was doing live music. Bonfire was right before Day Trip was having shows.
Yeah.
So we did them on the Melancholy House.
Oh my god.
So we had a lot, and but I think after about a year and a half, it was like okay. Then you're doing other stuff in life. It was just hard to keep up.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good place to start. La Luna, I guess the death of La Luna as far as the venue goes,
right?
If you will. I mean, yeah. So, I forgot how many shows were actually going on in that.
We kept track of them. We had a lot. And the art shows, several. I think at one point we tallied up close to 300 artists who had worked there because we did mostly group shows.
Okay. Yeah. It's like the what is it? The membrane installations. Yeah, man, you guys had a ton of stuff going on.
And then other people would use the space to host events, which was cool too.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of bands from different parts of the states and Ohio and but it's, I like to just again go to an event rather than I never intended to have a venue or whatever you want to call it. It kind of happened that way, and that was because, when I was, sharing my music years ago or my art, it was real cliquish in town, and it was hard to really get your foot in the door. It was the same musicians or bands or artists who got, who were more public. Yeah. And he was like basically begging, hey, can I open up for you? And so when I got that space, I'm like, I'm going to let anyone play here. We're not going to censor material. Yeah. We're not going to, if it's your first gig, and that, it's cool because Jillian Caudell, the Gutter Cats, a lot of people have their kind of like debut there, and I love that because
That's so sick.
that was the purpose of it.
Yeah. So yeah, what I think a lot of people really don't realize how much work it actually takes to host a venue of that sort. Kind of walk us through what that actually looks like. And what all was involved? What were the costs? What were kind of set up and tear down aspects, if you would?
The formula that we use, because people did help. It wasn't just me. If there were a show, I always liked the idea of having maybe three bands or 3 musicians, maybe 4, and I liked having different genres because there were a few shows where we had one genre, but I liked having it mixed up because you had different people coming together and support one another. So that's how we started out, and we would do $5 cover charge.
Okay.
That money, I never got money out of it. We always split it evenly between the bands because I know that musicians and artists are always asked to share their talent for free. After a while, it gets old.
For sure.
Especially if you're bringing in equipment and you're traveling. Yeah. So we were always happy to, be able to pay. So it was that simple. We didn't know what we were doing. We, as in me, and Kathy would help out. She was like, I'll be the door person. It was always, since it's a commercial building, but never a business, we didn't sell things. We never sold alcohol. We knew that there could be people that are underage. So it was always sort of a BYOB.
Okay.
Nothing ever went crazy, which was, in the beginning, it was just, reminding people not to have your beverages outside because that would have came on them, not me.
Yeah.
But it was real organic, and that was also how a lot of DIY places I played at in Columbus operated. But what they did that I didn't like was things that we're seeing in the world, now there's a term for it, it's called cancel culture. You can call that, or
yes.
So before there was a term for that in like 2017, all those places I would play at in Columbus, that it was very much like it's a safe place, which I appreciate
for sure.
But it was, you can't do this, you can't say that, and I'm like, oh, so you're basically censoring.
Yeah.
And so it's very divisive. I felt in that scene. So a lot of those bands who were canceled would come play at La Luna or Bonfire, and I love that because the big thing was like, we're not going to play by those rules.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
So I got a lot of criticism for that from Columbus, but it didn't hurt me.
Right. It's Columbus, and that's why Mansfield's a better music scene.
Totally better.
Oh my gosh, dude. No, seriously, I guess I just want to formally say how much I appreciate you and how much work that you did for the music scene in that era, man. La Luna was so much fun.
It was fun.
It was I think that's honestly what you just said, the lack of censorship, trying to make it as encompassing and that is very, very necessary. Because,
I think so, yeah.
Ideas are just ideas. If they're bad ideas, people will let you know. But how can you know unless you talk about them?
Yeah,
you know?
And if you don't want to hear something, then if there's a certain band playing, then remove yourself, go outside, come back in but that whole period, I know there was a lot of issues in Columbus and Cincinnati. If it was just very witch hunt mentality, and it's crazy. I never thought that would happen in the art and music scene.
Yeah, right.
And it's very upsetting that people are telling you what they feel is traumatic. We live in the age where apparently you can get triggered by anything, and I know, and so I guess my natural stances then and now is speak out against it, not to downplay it, but like is a word I'm saying or a phrase that you have no idea I'm singing about because you never asked me, that truly triggering you, and so I thought that was stupid, and I was like, I'll never play by those rules. And a lot of our DIYs here, you can be free, and that's why it doesn't stifle your creativity. And if you don't like something, then turn a channel. Don't hang out with them.
Right.
So
I love it.
So that was, I think, what it was so different. But it was, I never got money out of it. Only time that we ever did anything, like where I got financial gain, it was if I had when I was campaigning. I had some, my friends who are musicians, because when you're campaigning, you need yard signs, you need a lot of things. Yeah. Excuse me, that you wouldn't think you needed. And these musicians, this pure love, who, they knew I would never use them, but they're like, we'll play, and the cover charge would go towards your campaign, which is huge.
Yeah.
But they've also, we've hosted hurricane benefits and benefits for nonprofit organizations. So again, not just me, but other people would host these creative these events that were creative in nature, and the music would go towards causes and organizations. So, and I love that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I never really got anything out of it because that was never the goal.
For sure.
The goal was to highlight people who I felt should be highlighted,
Yeah.
And, a lot of us were like, I'm not really a musician, I'm not an artist, because you think that when people don't give you a chance, and I like when you give them a chance and you boost their morale and they can own who they are.
Yeah.
Because I knew that personally, but so
Yeah.
you're able to give that back.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
it
amazing.
was fun.
Dude,
So-
it really was. La Luna was such a
Yeah.
special place.
At some point, I'll probably miss doing shows, but I probably won't go back to doing that.
Yeah, maybe just open it up so other people can host in the future, maybe.
There's been talks about that. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's happened. Well, the last show I think was when Gage had his birthday.
Oh, yeah.
They took care of that. I trust them, and
For sure.
they.
I mean, Kathy's, his mom, Gage's mom, has been running the door, like you said, forever.
So I always say we, because there's been other people who's always helped out. It wasn't just me. And since it was a commercial building, the more shows I had, the electric, those prices definitely, I never asked people to pay for that. And that's not what it was about.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's, again, and that's kind of why I wanted you to start out talking about that in general, is just because there are all those costs that people don't really think about when it comes to going to shows, or even hosting shows, is the electric bill, the gas bill.
Yeah, I think we hosted was it last year, the 419 renditions, a listening party, and one of my furnaces was broken, and we're listening to it in the cold, it was freezing, but maintaining those big things, and and I'm a person, I would, I think most people are afraid to, I would never do a GoFundMe for myself, for instance.
For sure.
But I'm like, I'll save up and I'll fix my furnace,
Yeah.
But it was never. I'm not a business-minded person. I wish I would have, because I would have done something with that building where I could make a profit.
Yeah.
But I'm not there.
Right. Yeah. Well, so if you're listening to this and you got a business mindset and you know how to help Aurelio make a profit off of that, so that we can keep the doors open and have some hosting of shows happening, just throwing it out there.
Because I live upstairs. That was a thing too. Being upstairs, you can get away from the sound if you needed to.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, so much to talk about. Man, 419 renditions, as you said that.
That's coming up. Now,
are we doing it again?
Yeah. So I don't think you have you don't have a Facebook page, but I'll put it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
So we just people have been asking about it recently. And I know Dutch Oven asked.
Yeah.
So I put a post last week in the 419 renditions closed group and said, "Hey, let's do this." So far, we have a lot of people who are committing to it, including one of my good friends. I don't know if you know him, but if you go on, he has a presence on Instagram. I grew up with him. His name is Mike Dasher. Brilliant musician, brilliant artist, and even though he doesn't live here, he's going to he's going to be participate in
sick.
it. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
So we're going to have I'm waiting to hear a few more confirmations, and then we'll do what we always do: have Marshall and ask Ricky if we want to, do the unveiling again.
Yeah.
So it's not staged,
Yeah.
But yeah, and hopefully, what's today? We're almost. It'd be nice if we could do it before next weekend, so we have a month, and then maybe do it in the actual listing party in May.
Oh, shoot.
It's like a month.
I'm glad I had you on here and asked you about that. I need to get on there and I need to see if Josh wants to.
Yeah.
Because I had so much fun. I think it's possibly one of my favorite things.
It's so cool.
That Mansfield does musically.
I love it.
Around here. It's such a great idea.
And that was a Kate Westfall and I idea years ago. This will be the 7th time we've done it.
Is it that many already?
Yeah, about
Holy crap.
6 or 7. Yeah, because then Kate kind of, she kind of didn't want to do it anymore. So Ricky and Marshall helped coordinate a lot of it. And then we have people who've contributed or participated in every single album.
Yeah.
And I love the ones who are, they come on who've never done it before.
Right.
And, it's just the best part is hearing someone do a rendition of your song, but also seeing their reaction when they hear what you did to their song.
So much fun.
And you guys did great with Gutter Cats.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, man, Josh is mostly the brains of that stuff. I just try to facilitate and push him in a certain direction. But man, dude, it's so much fun. I have a blast. I think that was the 2nd time we did it. We participated.
I think so.
And dude, I think my favorite though was our Dive Bombs cover of one of your songs.
Quicksilver Waterfall. That was amazing.
Dude,
yeah.
I was like,
that was really good. You guys killed it. And I'm like, this is better than the original.
dude, you naturally write perfect metal and hardcore lyrics. It just translates so well. Like it was so much fun, so easy to do that. And also your cover of Narrow Arrows song was super spacey. Yeah,
I love that song too.
I really enjoyed that a lot.
I just loved all of them. I mean, I love Madison's version of Rat Lord, and
it was such a good year for it, man.
And I remember I think it was the third 419 renditions. Your dad, he recorded the one I did. I covered Nick Careless, Fake Smile, and he's the one he did it all. I mean, it was cool. Right. He's like, I never help produce a song with an autoharp. He killed it.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I know you've talked about 419 renditions on the Open Mic podcast with Noah before, but just for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, actually, you want to give a rundown of it?
Yeah, so 419 renditions is before we did it twice a year, but it does kind of seem hard to do it twice a year. So we say annually it is a collaboration between local musicians. We randomly pair musicians and bands with one another. We live stream a drawing so you can see who you get. And once you are paired with that musician, you choose a song from their catalog. Any song you want, you cover it however you want. It's nice to not let them know what you're covering, but if they do know, that's not a big deal. And then within a month, we ask that the musicians record it however they want, submit us the file, and then we put it on a digital online Bandcamp album. But we have a listening party, and we unveil the songs one by one, and it's just really cool. And it's really a fun thing to do. And we did it years ago. Like I said, it was Kate Westphal and I were talking about. All the musicians were like, "Hey, it'd be cool if there was a show where everyone covered one another," and that's how it kind of happened. And since then, Ricky Mitchell and Marshall Elgin's been, huge in getting things in order.
Yeah. Man, I just love the idea of Mansfield's covering each other's musically and just kind of showcasing the talent.
Yeah, it's so
vast
cool.
amounts of talent that is in Mansfield's music scene.
It's cool. And so many people I know outside of Mansfield, they're like, dude, we're jealous. We should do that. And I know a lot of friends in Cleveland, Columbus. They love our music scene. They really do. I know Eli, she's part of Foster Kids. Her boyfriend Tom, he's like, I would move here just because of your music scene.
Yeah,
and that's so cool because we forget.
Dude, yeah, seriously, no. I mean, I say it all the time, man.
Well,
Mansfield is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, continental city in the U.S. It has the best music scene.
Yep.
I mean. What music scene has a councilman that is throwing shows for 5 years span and doing so much for the arts and music scene to develop it? I mean, seriously, it's just it's so many special aspects that all have people and businesses that have contributed to it just for such a massively amazing legacy. So
it's so great. And I know one thing that Jody Perry said, we had some out-of-state branders come here last summer and helping Mansfield with branding. And one thing they said to her was, wow, we met so many people. You guys are an and community. And she's like, what's that? And she's like, for instance, Matt Stanfield. Matt Stanfield is an architect and he's this. Like how you did earlier, we're all the different hats.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that. So I'm like, we are an community. I mean, because people who are doing these like maybe a 9-to-5 job or they're known for maybe their profession or something that they're doing, but they're also an artist or a musician or something else. And I like that because
that's cool.
And I love seeing the people who are older who are sharing their music because I think that, you hit a certain age and you're just, put out the pasture or something. No, you have something to say. And I love empty nesters like starting bands with, millennials. I just love that. And you don't see that anywhere else. Like age isn't a factor here.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't. And I mean, that rings so true even as you're talking about it personally in my life. Like, I really don't care who it is. If I vibe with you musically on some level, I'll start a band with you. I don't care.
Exactly.
Like, it just makes it so much more fun and stretches you even more as an artist, as a creative type,
I love it.
Yeah. Me too. Okay, so Chico's brother.
Chico's brother.
Chico's brother. So, I don't know if I've told you this before, to be really blunt, really
No,
honest.
see, I can take it.
When I first heard your music, when I first came into town, I did not like it.
A lot of people don't like it. It's not everyone's cup of tea.
No, I did not like it at all. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I thought it was very strange.
I got that a lot.
But man, do I really love your music now. Genuinely.
Well, thank you.
I genuinely love your
Thank
music,
you.
Aurelio. Like it is it's so eccentric and you just you're just very genuinely and authentically you and passionately you.
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things about music is transparency, right? And man, you are just very transparent with the way you write your lyrics, the way you write your songs, and the addition of body percussion, I should say, with the bells that you tie onto your ankles, all that. I really enjoy it a lot, man.
Thank you. Yeah. And that means a lot because, I mean, I did music a lot after high school. I lived in Columbus, and I punched around with like these little makeshift punk bands. I just sang, you know, I didn't play an instrument.
Yeah.
I played instruments in high school, like bassoon and clarinet, but, you know,
that's sick.
You know, you couldn't sing when you're playing those.
Yeah.
But I always wrote poetry. That's what I did first. And I was the kind of kid where, you know, and I'm older than you, I have my cassettes and I'm listening to, you know, the Smiths and Susie the Banshees. And the Cure, as I'm reading listen to the lyrics, I would just read the lyrics. I was obsessed with lyrics because I love to write.
Yeah.
So when I came back here and I'm like, you know, I have all these poems in my head or songs. I'm like, I want to share it. And I like to sing. And so, the only instrument, I tried to play guitar and bass. I wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
And my grandmother gave me her autoharp, and that's how I kind of got the hang of it.
Yeah.
But all the songs are, it's just all poems.
Okay.
So, like, I need to, like, when bands and musicians are singing, I'm like, what are they singing about? I'm a wordsmith, so I want to know what it means. So I typically will write a song, vocals first or lyrics first.
Okay.
Figure out how I want to sing it, and then I'll add the chords to it.
Yeah.
So it's always more words driven.
Yeah.
But but in my mind, I never wanted to play something like people like, well, you know, his songs are kind of slower. I always in my mind wanted to play something faster, like more of a metallic EDM sound.
Yeah. Okay.
So the fact that I'm playing an autoharp and like a one-man band, I never would have, because in my head, these songs are like a different way.
Interesting.
But that's cool because, you know, my thing is like, I want people to know the message or at least guess it. Yeah. And plus I like to sing. So those are my two big focal points with music for me personally.
Well, and I think that really shows, like you said, being so lyrically driven. I mean, you have, you squeeze in a lot, typically lyrically.
I got a lot of words there.
Yeah, which I appreciate a lot because I'm very akin to that as well. I mean, hip hop's typically one of my favorite genres. So like
a lot of words there.
Anytime it's lyrically driven, I really dig it. And you definitely kill it at that game.
Yeah, so I know I've been like actually working on a collection of new songs. I haven't recorded anything. I think last time I recorded like I guess like an album was in 2017 or 18.
Oh, wow.
But I have all these song demos I've been trying to do, but then they're so personal because I have these songs from the fall of 2018. And it was a pretty like rocky year for me. And I'm like, well, I don't want to like go back there, but then I'm like, well, I should record them because then if I record them, it's like a purging before I can move on to things that are important to me now. And I've noticed things that I'm working on as far as music, I'm doing different approaches. I'm not as wordy. They're shorter songs, and they're more lighthearted, and they're not really about me. They're about like just observations, which I like because all my songs and poetry have always been not selfish, but your experiences, good and bad, but also about people. And like I have a song I sing a lot about when I perform now. It's about the downtown birds, and I love it. You know, so it's, you know, and I think that's, you know, like one of my favorite musicians, you know, Cameron Sharp and Sovereign Court.
Yeah.
So we're good friends, and there's like some similarities how we write that we never knew that. And I see with him being a father, his music is more like they're like these beautiful indie child lullabies. I love it.
That's cool.
So I just love like how as your life changes,
Yeah.
your lyrics and everything. Even our voice, like my voice is different now than what it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
I like my voice now. I didn't like it then.
Really?
Like I like to sing lower now,
Ooh,
not
okay.
as high. And,
Oh
you
man,
know.
I'm really excited to hear
So
the
yeah,
new stuff then.
yeah. So the music's my number one passion.
Yeah. So you think a lot of that has to do with your position as a councilman then, with more observation-driven lyricism, or?
I don't know, because it's like a lot of people are, especially when I was campaigning last year, give me advice. You really want to be careful about what you share about yourself. And I don't care.
Yeah.
And
that's something I would never imagine from you is
yeah, I don't care. I mean like this, I don't know, I guess in that, I don't want to say I'm a rebel, but I've never cared about what people thought. If I'm not intentionally hurting people, then I'm good with if they don't like something. And I'm definitely not going to, not share my creativity. I'm still going to be as weird as people think I am or whatever. It's not going to change because I'm running for an office,
Right.
But I think that the stuff that I've been working on now, it's more and more lessons. It's more like they're more upbeat.
Yeah.
Even like last fall, I lost my grandmother, but but it was
I'm sorry to
very
hear that.
bittersweet because it was something that she knew was happening.
Ah, okay.
But
yeah.
so there's some songs that are from that experience, but they're happy songs.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, like taking like so I feel like I deal with things differently, or I view people differently. I'm not as angry as I was about some things, and
Yeah.
So these songs are these are happy songs.
That's awesome.
They're fun, and
That's awesome.
And I'm like you. I like I like to do harmony. I love harmonies. So some songs I want to do just like 8 harmonies. I can get on there, and no music at all.
Oh,
so yeah,
cool.
I want to
Yeah.
mess around. But I like collaborating too.
Yeah, yeah.
I've done songs with different people, and with my grandmother, I like to have my sister sing on some songs again.
Oh, that would be cool.
So, yeah.
That would be really cool. Oh man, I love it.
Yeah, so I'm excited to actually record but politics hasn't affected like my art or music at all. People have cautioned me to, like this is funny because even like how you dress. I think last year a business owner told me, really you shouldn't wear those shorts and you shouldn't wear shorts in your work boots. I was like, why? He's like, because you're campaigning. I was like, I'll wear the hell I want to wear. I'm not going to change. So it's just silly. So, and that's why I think with city council, I'm like, there's so many changes, and people need to see that, just because you're elected official, you don't have to be, you don't play by those rules. I mean, you should be about the people, and the cause is not about suit and ties and a party trying to dictate your life.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's why I voted
that's
for
where
you.
I'm a rebel. I don't try,
Exactly. So when who are you going to be recording with, and when do you think you're going to start jumping in on that?
I would like to have, so I've always recorded my own songs.
Yeah.
I'm like old school Audacity,
Yeah.
and I think the only time I've had anyone record my music was your father and someone else.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And so they all sound kind of like, lo-fi.
Yeah.
And that's fine because it's, it's only an autoharp percussion. I'll put some keyboard to it. But so I want to ask my sister to sing some songs. So but first I have 2 projects. I have a project of 6 old school gospel songs, like gospel hymns.
Oh, yeah.
These are the hymns that my grandmother sang when we were little. When we were little,
That's cool.
we were in a
That's
Pentecostal church. So her and my mom were like the Judds.
Okay.
My grandma played guitar, singing alto. My mom would
that's
sing
beautiful.
soprano. They would tour churches, and I love those songs. Like,
Oh, that's so cool.
so,
I love it.
and
That's so cool.
So I
man.
have a few songs that I have of my grandma recording and duetting with her. So I really want to take those 6 songs and have a family member sing one. Like me and my sister do one.
Yeah.
Me and my mom. I have vocals from my grandma singing Amazing Grace, and maybe having my mom sing harmony with that. So I want to do something for my grandma first, and then the songs I have, I would like to collaborate with anyone really.
Yeah.
I like different style of voices meshing.
Yeah.
So
Sick.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I look forward to that hymnal album.
I'm excited
That's
because
so
I
cool.
like old school hymns.
Yeah.
I like old school country
too.
before like the 60s, and I love all that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would be my dream to do that kind of an album.
Yeah, I have a great uncle and a great aunt that sadly, we never got to record them before they passed, but that was always a massive staple in our family. They were always singing hymns. One of them would break out a guitar and it would just turn into
awesome.
Yeah, just a family choir time, I guess, just singer-songwriter hymnal thing.
Yeah.
It was awesome, man.
It's the best music.
It really is.
So I'm glad we have audio videos of her, doing
cool.
what she loved. We have videos of her playing spoons and singing autoharp and guitar. And
that's sick.
in addition to pictures, and that's so awesome that we have those collections. But I also have these vocals of hers that I still want to do something with.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We have that. So I definitely would do that first, for my grandma, and then do my 8 songs.
Cool.
So I as far as who I would collaborate with, there's a few people I'd love to sing with, but I like the idea of just having a whole different sound for those recordings too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll have to talk about
yeah,
something.
Seriously.
I'd love to,
yeah.
It'd be fun to put some drums to some of your songs maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't know, see what we can come up with.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Get the last episode I did was with Test Reflect Levi.
Yeah.
Have to get him and you to collab on, make some EDM versions.
Yeah, because we talked
songs.
about that before. We love the same type of music, and
dude, that would be so sick.
That's why,
especially since you said that's kind of how you hear your music anyway.
It was,
that would be so sick.
That was how I thought it was going to sound if I create music, punk style EDM, and then that's why I liked doing Village Druid so much, because that wasn't our music, but we were Kate and I were the harmonizers, and we got I loved it because it was fun, it was energetic, and
that super 80s vibe.
It was so 80s,
Yeah, dude, I dig it. I enjoyed. Unfortunately, I never got to see Village Druids. I was always busy doing something.
They're fun shows,
but I listened to a couple of your guys' tracks and stuff.
They're cool. I miss Chuck and and James and it's cool. So I said we need to do a reunion or something. But they're all in different areas of Ohio now, so it'd be hard.
Yeah, I think James moved to Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, and then Chuck is closer. He's in Fredericktown, and then Kate is in Canton.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure where she
but this day and age, you can make music just
Yeah, the internet.
I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, right. It does so many amazing things for musicians nowadays.
But Levi, we've talked a little bit about music, and
oh, sick.
I love his style.
Levi, if you're listening,
right?
Make this happen, please.
Let's do a remix album.
I want to hear this really badly. I will pester him about this.
Yeah, I would totally be down.
No, that would be
Big
so
time.
much fun. So anything councilman wise, you're looking anything involving music that you're thinking of or looking at? I don't really know.
Yeah.
I'm not really exactly sure what goes on in a day-to-day councilman position, but
and I didn't either before. So you've known me for a while, and then those who've known me longer, if they even I say, none of us would have guessed I would have showed an interest in, local politics. It was something I never thought about.
Yeah.
I don't even follow real politics. I'm happy just writing music, singing, teaching dance, everything creative. But, my jobs have always been social service oriented, people with disabilities.
Yeah.
I work with 3rd Street Family Health Services, so we help people, all kinds of things as far as getting basic housing. And then when a group of us did Mansfield Rising in 2017 and 18, we were all excited. We want to transform the city and keep young people here. And this my big plug was the creative community, but then the social service aspect of it was I want to help people and advocate and.
Yeah.
So that was where I really wanted to run for politics, our city council, and be hands-on, not just be someone who goes and votes for yes or no.
Yeah.
So I do have a full-time job, and we meet every first and third Tuesday city council.
Okay.
But I try to do something every single day, not just we get phone calls and emails from people in the ward who have concerns or ideas.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is a full-time job because we are dealing with a lot of things that aren't quite fun with safety issues and homelessness and
for sure.
Buildings that shouldn't be conducting themselves the way that they are. It's a lot, but it's
been
fun.
Brought down a long time ago.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's one of my big things I'm working on.
Okay.
But as far as creativity, nothing right yet. I mean, I know there's been talks about having some events for youth all the time, not just summertime, to showcase their skills or talents, whether it's sports or music and writing. But there hasn't been a whole lot of that on my end other than supporting public art, murals. I try to highlight people who I feel who inspire me all the time, like on my council pages, my personal pages, and there's always artists and musicians who I want people to know about. It's always the same people who are being highlighted, or it's like, no, you should know this person and what they're creating and what they're doing, and these young entrepreneurs. But right now, I'm almost 4 months into being on council, and but I would like to have more. Have a more involvement with getting some art out there, even though we're doing a good job.
For sure.
Because right now, unfortunately, the priority in my eyes is keeping everyone safe.
For sure.
And having to be direct about it. So
not
and that's
beat around
fun.
The bush with those types of things anymore.
And that's and I'm, it's like no one deserves to not feel safe when they're walking to their car, and we don't need places like that anywhere in the city.
Absolutely.
And if you I think if you excuse bad behavior, it's going to keep happening, and it's been excused for so long. And I think with me being new and fired up, I'm like, well, we're going to and getting the right people and in your corner to help with it. And but it'll be something, it'll be something all the time, and that's fun. So it's nice to still have music and art and poetry as my counselor.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Art as a counselor.
Yeah. So there's a purpose for it other than it just being fun.
Yeah.
But and I think also with city council is I want to see younger people. I want to see people who are more focused on having a better city rather than focused on being an R or a D, which are not bad things. I mean, I'm not going to dog that, but locally we all want the same things. We go about it differently. Yeah. And those are distractions. And I want to see those kind of minded people campaign for judge positions and director positions and commissioners and councilmen. Yeah. So I mean, basically, if I can do it, then that we can. That maybe that'll have other people, feel they can too, for the right reasons too. I feel.
Yeah. So, no, for sure, that's amazing. I love it.
It's a lesson.
Massive learning curve, I'm sure, but it sounds like you're doing a great job. It seems like it. I mean, well, I should say, I know you're doing a great job because you care.
Thank you. Yeah, care. I feel good. And I have support. One person who gets probably some criticism as well is another council person, at-large councilwoman Stephanie Zader. We're always out doing the same thing, and again, she's the youngest one on city council. Okay. We both are registered. We're both different parties, but we have the same mindsets, and we do get a lot of slack for being friends and attacking the issues that need to be attacked and helping people the best way we can. And didn't expect so much backlash. Oh my gosh, she's a Republican, he's a Democrat. They're friends. They're taking pictures together, and we're like,
amazing. That's mind blowing.
But that's
honestly the things people focus on.
It's crazy. But more people, luckily, are like changing that mindset. It's like, okay, well, but what's important?
Yeah.
So,
man, no, I guess that does kind of make sense. Apparently, I know. Like me and Phil, when we were going into business together, he's on.
Oh, you guys are very different. Yeah.
Of beliefs. And like people would always, I guess, ask him a lot, like, how do you guys work together? Like, you guys, it's like, dude, we're friends. Like, just because you have different set of beliefs on something or you disagree with something, it doesn't mean you can't be boys. That's
every reason to be friends, I feel.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
Like, I want to have, I don't think I had those mindsets when I was younger, and I was, I was very much like, this is how I believe, this is right. Thank God I've grown, and that's because I've been exposed to other people, I want to have, I would probably prefer to be around people who are way different than me. I don't want to be around people who look like me, or I mean, not only look like me or have the same views or who are creative. I want to, and I think I've met some really great friends because I've been open to that. Yeah. And it's made me less judgmental because I was judgmental. I was very self-righteous and like,
Me too.
and I didn't know their life experiences.
Yeah.
So I like that I can surrender to that and compromise, and I feel less angry because of it.
Yeah.
So when people do like, well, you shouldn't be hanging out with this person, or I was like, I don't care. Like my grandmother was a staunch, she was a patriot.
Yeah.
So am I supposed to like disown her? No, I love her.
Yeah,
it's
right.
stupid that people want you to do that. So I think you challenge it, and you, it's their loss, not yours.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. Yeah, it's understandable to want to be around people who are like-minded. Like I get that, because like you said, I was the same way. I was definitely like that when I was younger and at times in my past, but it's refreshing to hear the more as you've seen in your own life, the more you've tried and consciously stepped out of that, the more you've grown and shaped your mindset and changed it and recalibrated it.
Yeah. And I think you have to when you're elected official or a teacher, or just you're working with people, because you're especially because you're supporting people, and you're going to be like, even with work, I'm going to be working directly with people who require services, and I might not like them because of their behaviors or whatever. I never tell them that, but I need to be as unbiased as possible and help them out, because at the end of the day, they need a service, they need help. And the same thing with, the council, when you're just people in the ward who I've met a lot, and I was discouraged from knocking on Republican doors. I'm like, I'm knocking on all doors.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even with my campaigning, you're doing fundraising. I think that half of my donations were from Republican donors, because
Really?
And I like
That's
that,
awesome.
because they
No, that's
saw
awesome.
it was about we all work together, and
Yeah.
I wasn't going to be that type of person who won't talk to you because you voted for this person or that person. There's more to you than that.
Yeah.
And I think that I see a lot of us changing that mindset, and I think it's scary to the folks who are not flexible.
Yeah. Kind of tearing down barriers and shaking up rugs and
We have to,
pulling them out from them.
Yeah, we have to still work together, and there's too many. Everyone's a warrior on their keyboard, and but they won't have a conversation with you. They won't like agree to have coffee with you and have a civilized, disagreeing conversation. We can have dissenting opinions, but I don't know. But on the flip side, I see that changing so much, even locally, and I love it. And I think it's scary to people, because when you have those types of changes, then that's how you're going to have great leaders. That's how you're going to have different types of businesses that we've never had before.
Yeah.
People will want to stay here, and that also will translate over into the art, music, the music and art world, where people won't be afraid to create.
Yeah.
They won't be afraid to be quote unquote canceled.
Yeah.
It's just I can't believe we're there.
Dude, it's 2022.
I hate it. But
It's the point of progressivism if you can't progress, and if you can't talk about what you believe, how can you progress? You know?
There's fear.
Yeah.
And I say, I mean, I love people who give it the middle finger and speak out against it. And like, nope, I don't care. I don't care if someone doesn't like this and they don't agree with it, or they're going to attack my character or my job or try to bring me down. I'm still going to do it. And I'm seeing more people challenge that. And I love it, because I mean, I'm right there with them.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And again, I mean, and it shows, because like I said, you care. You genuinely care, and that's what people are seeing, and that's why you're where
I'm glad,
you're at.
And my goal is,
and that's where half of your donors came from Republicans, is because when you're transparent and you genuinely care about something, it shows no matter what.
Yeah.
And you definitely do.
And those are the people that I want to be around, and there's been people who are, far left, and now they don't communicate with me, or they're like, oh, he's a traitor, he's a turncoat. Yeah. And you know what? I don't care. Yeah. I just don't. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. You got to do what's good for you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose any sleep because you disagree. You're taking it so personal that I'm a friend with this person, or I'm not going to speak out about this cause that is important to you, or because I'm not going to actively be in a rally. I'm like, no. It's like,
yeah.
It's kind of worry about yourself.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Man. Well, dude, I'm so happy that you're my councilman for the ward that I live in. Because
I'm so happy.
It's refreshing to hear those ideas and those mindset. You know, it really is. And I appreciate you for being
thank you very much.
That voice. Yeah. So where can people find you on the interwebs?
Yes.
So that they can see all these awesome posts of people that are doing cool stuff that they might not realize are doing cool stuff.
Yeah. So I do try to keep, I know Councilwoman Zader and I, we have a pretty active social media, which is good. I mean, because I think people only do that when they're running for election or re-election. They should, and I know social media can be so daunting, but it's a good tool too when you're marketing and you are highlighting people. So I do have my music, my Chico's Brother music. I do have like a Bandcamp. I have a SoundCloud. I need to step it up and get other stuff. And I also put my music and updates on my Chico's Brother Instagram page and my Chico's Brother Facebook and Twitter. I'm starting to do more now that I have time.
Yeah.
As far as like local politics and councilmen, I have an Aurelio Diaz, city councilman, Ward 5, Facebook and Instagram page. And I probably keep those updated more because like today I went to an event for a police and a youth event. Yeah. And I highlight, it was fun. It was so fun. You had police with these kids and organizations, and for those who are, defund the police minded, which I don't agree with. Yeah. I'm like, these are men and women. These are people who have families and putting their lives on the line. Yeah. Working with kids, and like they're not monsters. Right. And I want the community to see that. So that was fun. So I use the social media for that. I don't really use it for my opinions. It's highlighting events and businesses and stuff like that. So so my Ward 5 Mansfield City Council Instagram and Facebook is where I keep all of that. Okay. Those are probably the most active.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Aurelio, I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Is anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm just glad to be here with the ranks of everyone you've had. And we'll do more 419 renditions too.
Yes, seriously. It's on Chico's Brother's Bandcamp,
yeah, so
right?
Yeah, so
419 renditions.
Yeah, because I didn't want, that seems so kind of selfish, because I didn't want to do a whole 419 renditions Bandcamp because I didn't know if he would do it again. So all those different compilation albums are on the Chico's Brother Bandcamp, and I think there's about 6. Yeah, and they're awesome, and you can really see all the different bands. It's so cool.
Yeah, seriously, keep a lookout for that. One of the most fun things we do every year as a music scene.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of it, hit them up.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I think that's everything.
Thank you so much for having me, Tom.
Thank you guys so much for checking us out. As always, this is the Open Mic Podcast with me, Tom Hirst, brought to you by Newsroom After Hours and Richland Source, sponsored by Two Cousins Pizza, Henry Screen Printing, today, Chico's Brother. Also, why not? Because I'm going to do it every time, I think, from now on. Potent Studios, Lee McIntosh.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, if you need some pizza, go to downtown Mansfield, get some pizza.
Best pizza in town.
Woo. You need some T-shirts printed, hit up Henry. You need some news, hit up Richland Source. You need some video work done, hit up Potent Studios. And I've got an Instagram. I'm going to try and get better at doing that because I agree social media can be very daunting, but it's at the Open Mic PD Cast on Instagram. Thank you guys so very much. Aurelio, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, you guys have a wonderful day.
The roof is my bed.